Hey guys, Sean Timber here, and welcome to Before You Watch, the show where I'll tell you all about the recent shows that just came out, the good, the bad, the insane, everything. Here I'll be brutally giving my honest opinions of the shows, and today we're going to talk about The Monkey. And before we dive into this one, I just want you to know that this video will be spoiler free, and the footage you'll be seeing here will be from the trailers or earlier on in the show. Alright, I'll just say it. So this one movie is from Neon Pictures, and The Monkey was directed by Oz Perkins, who also did Gretel and Hansel. And it runs for about 90 minutes. So the basic setup follows twin brothers who, after their father dies, discovers a mechanical toy among his possessions. And this monkey is actually cursed, and basically it brings death to anyone who hears its cymbals clash. It's as generic as it sounds. The monkey plays drums, people die. Simple. If you've seen one cursed object movie, you've pretty much seen this one. So right off the bat, I'll just say I did like the aesthetic of this movie though, and the opening sequences to me were actually funny. And I don't know if this was their intended reaction, but I chuckled a couple of times as I watched it. I actually laughed so loud when I was watching it. It's actually really funny. But it's kind of like a watered down Final Destination, with the way people die in this movie. The monkey does its thing, unseen sequences of events just randomly happen and people die. The music is okay, your typical horror stuff. Nothing stood out to me about that. It's just okay, your standard stuff here. The sound effects are good though. They made me jumpy initially. The monkey also has those Annabelle vibes, your standard appear in random place vibes, just trying to look creepy. I don't think they did anything new here, as I said, but the standard stuff, There's nothing wrong with that because it works. When it comes to performances, there are many poorly acted scenes and some good ones. Maybe. Look, I already started forgetting about it. That is how much my brain wants to forget this movie. The twin brothers have some decent moments, I guess, but nothing noteworthy. I need to call out the parents though. The mother of the main cast is such a horrible mother. Just know that. The father as well, such a horrible father. The parenting in this movie is just very bad. They're horrible parents. And one thing I noticed as well is the movie doesn't even take itself seriously in many parts. And that's okay because the characters are funny, especially in the beginning, as I said. Some of the dialogue is weird and cheesy. There are some scenes which were kind of stale to me, especially in the beginning of the movie, as the movie establishes where it's going, This is totally my own opinion though. And to be honest, for the first 15 minutes, I was on board. It's fun. It's setting up something potentially interesting, but then it just keeps dragging on. The movie just did everything you've seen in other movies. I kind of found myself checking how many minutes passed by, and it was barely over 30 minutes. Because I don't know, it's so standard for someone who has a short attention span like me. It sometimes felt like it was dragging on forever because some scenes were just filler to me. Maybe that's what they were going for, but I don't know, man. Even though some of the deaths were funny and interesting, some were, lukewarm, standard, nothing special. Actually, it got so boring so fast. The first 15 minutes were funny and interesting to me, but it got painful to watch, like very quickly. I feel like if you watch the first 15 minutes, then skip to the last 5 minutes, you would get the gist of the whole movie, really. Well, this movie definitely wasn't for me. It wasn't doing it for me, so I couldn't bear watching the rest of it. So I just had to skip through certain scenes to see if there's anything interesting and just see how they deal with the monkey at the end. And well, I did. And what did I see? Well, the monkey gets angry, starts beating the drum super fast, I guess. And he causes an apocalypse, I guess? I don't know. People just started screaming and dying, I guess. I didn't even get to see how they dealt with the monkey, cause it's not there. It's weird. Oh well, I had hopes for this movie in the beginning, especially because it was actually funny. But gosh, I don't know, man. I wouldn't recommend this movie unless you are extremely bored. But if that's the case, rather watch better movies. I have a playlist of movies I recommend right here. Maybe you find one you'll like to watch, I guess. Anyways, you know the drill. Like and subscribe like my mom and get back to work or you're fired.